The number of boomers in America peaked in the year 2000. But the coolest thing about boomers is that many of them were born in the 50s, which means they have decadal antimetabole, a pleasing linguistic symmetry where they can say they were 20 in the 70s, and 70 in the 20s, 40 in the 90s and 90 in the 40s, 10 in the 60s and 60 in the 10s. Most of us don't get that. I was born in the 80s, so I was 30 in the 10s, but I won't be 10 in the 30s. I call it anti-metaboly because anti-metaboly is a figure of speech related to chiasmus where a sequence of elements gets repeated but in reverse order the second time, usually for dramatic effect. For example, all for one and one for all. Or, with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Or, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Now, people who were born in the 50s will have that kind of symmetry between their age decade and the calendar decade. Why? Well, because time is a flat circle. Decades don't just keep going up. We don't go from the 80s to the 90s to the 10s to the 11s. No, we go back to the beginning and the whole thing just keeps circling around and around. But if we arrange age decades in the same way, we can see that being born is really just what mathematicians call a circular shift. Now, in a circle with an even number of elements, there will be diametric pairs. Pairs of elements separated on either side by the same number of other elements. And when that's the case, a circular shift that brings the first member of such a pair to the old position of the second will also move the second to the old position of the first. All of the pairs just swap. Anti-metaboly. Now, in our base 10 decade system, being born in the 50s accomplishes just such a circular shift. And that's why only people born in the 50s can say cool stuff like, I was 30 in the 80s and I'll be 80 in the 30s.